Welcome back everyone to Let's Play GearCity, episode number 8 in our What is Tortuga Doing? He doesn't know, but we're going with it anyway series on this game, yeah. So I have been digging through a few more things off camera. I mean, I'm really trying to just bury myself into this game and pour myself in. Trying to figure out all the different things, and I did go through all these sales things, every single one of these in detail. Maybe I hadn't done this before ever. Some of these screens I may never have looked at. This one is pretty informative. Let's start for a second by going back to this screen. We had a very good, obviously our cash flow is very high, and as other people pointed out, we have quite a lot of cash just sitting doing nothing. Which, I mean, if you were a publicly traded company and you had like 90% plus of your cash just sitting, not doing anything, the board would be very upset at you. Like, do something with it, invest it, something, right? We'll try to do that this turn, and I have some ideas. We're just probably going to shoot ourselves in the foot being too active. Of course, that is the problem with, doing something, is that it's risky. So, and I, especially not knowing the game, not really knowing what the best thing to do would be, not being a business expert, basically. We'll see how well that does for us, but I'm going to try to be a little more active. I have some ideas about what to do. Nonetheless, the only thing we noted from last time is that we are still producing slightly more than we're selling of the sedan. So that's something we'll want to correct for. I don't think I already corrected for it. I could change this by basically just lowering the cost. I think that's what I'll end up doing. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, there's plenty of things here. That's one of the charts we can look at. Oh, we're getting off base. Where is it? Sales, revenues. I want monthly report. That gets us back to the home screen. Now that this number is so big, it's no longer around 100,000. It's almost a million itself. We can start neglecting things like, yeah, sure, we do have a storage cost of about 20,000, and when we only had 20,000, 100,000 that we were making, or in some cases even less with taxes, that was a big deal. I no longer really think it is. Excuse me real fast, let me just slide this a little closer. Forgot to adjust prior to starting the recording. Yeah, so anyways, I don't think that this is as big of a deal. I'm just trying to look over here and see if there's any low-hanging fruit that we should be kind of paying attention to. Maybe we can cut down costs somewhere. And I think that if we're dealing with total expenditures of over $1 million, total revenue around $2 million, that something like marketing cost of only $20,000 seems rather low. In fact, it might even be a sign that we need to increase our marketing. Because I don't know what the marketing overhead should be for a company, but just as kind of a silly example, I know for video games, which is obviously a category I follow a little bit closer than other sales categories, I know marketing can be as much as the material cost of the good, or the development cost for some of these AAA titles. So it's crazy to think we're sitting here way below that. Okay, so there we go. City sales, this is one I think is very important for us. And this one highlights to me that New York is, it's great, right? We're looking at city expenses, the lowest in the game. Of all my cities, the lowest is New York. But to me, that also maybe means that we're not spending enough here. And that's also kind of noted by the fact that we actually sell more models than we produce. Okay, so let's stop. I think that my plan was initially to just go through all these things, and it's kind of fun to look through all of them. Maybe I can just briefly rifle through them, but just to put a pin in this thing, based on that last screen, we're going to go to New York, and we're going to, first of all, we're going to increase the branch. We're going to invest in it a lot more, and we're going to do it. We're definitely going to build a new factory there. Considering we have the money to do it, I think it's a good time. The United States also is in the beneficial position that during World War I, which is going to roll around here in another 7 years or so, or 6 years I guess now, 6.5, the Guns of August, right? So we have about 6.5 years left. yeah, the United States won't enter that war until 1917, which gives us an additional 3 years. So we should have that factory up and running with plenty of time before World War I. But on top of that, even when World War I begins, the United States and my New York factory won't be affected, so we'll be able to take on contracts. And that's another thing I want to get to, is maybe let's do a pickup truck in this. I want to pour through the contracts, find a pickup truck engine, pickup truck vehicle, something that we can design and actually something we can sell. I don't know how good the sales will be, but it'll be something that'll be dual purpose. You know, it's really a military contract in disguise as a civilian vehicle. Districts. Somebody mentioned to me that districts, we don't have districts, but this might be one thing we can do, is actually split our North American district somehow, and that would allow us to sell things for different prices in different areas. I don't think we're going to do that, but that's just, let me just note that that's something you can do. Okay, and this is cool. I didn't do the math. Dang it, I forgot to do this off camera. I don't have too much time off camera. So, but yeah, okay, obviously bank interest on 6 million being 150 just showcases how you don't want money just sitting around. It'd be better for us to invest it in stock, any companies with high dividends. Part of me is always like, well, if you're doing that, you're basically giving money to your competitors, but no, they're still giving money to you, so it's a symbiotic relationship. Wow, this song is very loud. Not bad, but just very loud. Did that work? I cut it down. It's still pretty loud. Can we just skip this one? Year limit? Huh. Okay, let's play. Not that. Early riser. No. Okay. This is soft, whatever it is, which is better. Okay, back to my reports. Sorry about that. Where were we at? Revenue summary. Yeah. So we have these OEM parts revenue, which I was looking at. I was like, 20,000 for some parts. What does that mean? I think that is the overflow on our contract. So we shipped 131 of the 131 last month, which gave us amazing, very, very good revenues. And when we're wondering why I'm over $1 million, close to 2 million in revenue. And this contract is making a big difference. So yeah, we're looking at, when I say we're close to 2 million in revenue and we're only at 1.2 million in expenses, that's really not an accurate portrayal. That's a one-time thing based on this contract. I would love for that to be normal, but we're not there yet. We still sit around our 200,000, I think it is, but we're not sitting this pretty every month. So I think I wanted to go back into my last video and find it. If anybody does this, just let me know in the comment section. I'll give you a big heart and probably maybe even pin it. I don't know, but if anybody happens to do this, I'll be curious to know. 131 is the amount we paid for. We're paid for by this contract, but I'm pretty sure I produced more than that, right? Maybe that is above the contract initial demands. I don't know, but I think it was the contract called for 131, and that the OEM part revenue is the parts beyond that we got paid for, which seems like it's a pretty lucrative amount. I don't know how many, what is it, like 40 of them? If it was 40 of them, then we're looking at 500 per part. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. It's no longer the, what was it, 4,500 per part. So yeah, unless we only were 5 parts basically, it doesn't come out exactly right, does it? If we were 4 parts? Does 4 parts come out correct? 4? No, 4 of these is going to be 18,090. And that's not what we see here. Yeah, 18,090 is not correct. Yeah, so this appears to be the remaining 40. I think my brain comes out, I thought it was 170 or so. Maybe it was 160, and we only needed 130. So I think that we just sold off the rest of the parts is that at some profit? Well, we can figure that out by going to what? Okay, first of all, let me go back to the contract. So we were selling our V8. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this thing cost around 500, right? So I think this all makes sense. 1902 V8, 117. Just go view this part real fast. I feel like I'm getting a little more comfortable with the interface, knowing where I need to go. Oh, this thing cost $944. So 20 of these. I could do the math, but I think so we just sold these basically at cost, it looks like, which is unfortunate. That means no profit on it. Oh well. C'est la vie. Okay, so that's that. Revenue, stock holdings, and dividends. And that is an idea. I'm not going to invest in the stock market yet just because I need to do the tutorial and figure out, get a little more comfortable. But what I could see myself doing is just finding the highest dividend stock company. Hopefully one that's not cratering, so we're just not going to, we're going to assume that the market is very efficient, very knowledgeable, and that the expected, the listed stock price is not going to be too volatile. Aren't no surprise information gonna shock that value too much, and then just go for the highest dividend. Okay, even though dividend is also built into the price, so that would raise the price a bit, as long as they don't lower that dividend. And well, it should keep that evaluation more or less static. Okay, expense summary. I didn't get to go through this, but it's all listed here. Good that we don't have too many administrative costs. 23,000 total. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and jump into some of the other things I want to do now that we spent basically 10 minutes looking at different data. Let's go to New York. So New York has two things we want to take care of. First, the branch, which is the simpler of the two. I want to redesign this, and we can see it's a bit low. I think that this is, it's sitting at 21 employees for 9 dealerships. I think we got to crank this up. New York is going to be a very valuable place for us. So we're going to double it. And I hope that means double the sales. I don't think that's going to be the case, but we'll see. And I'm not going to do any distribution or any of that. I'm controlling that all from the global window, which is the computer at your office desk. Next thing is the big one, the factories. So we could upgrade. I think we had already done this once, but no, I think that it's really time for us. We have 7 lines there. Well, they are not very technologically advanced then. No, I think it's time for us to redesign, which is going to be very expensive here. So right now we have 7 lines. Let's go get our 7 lines. And notice that even by doing nothing with the technology, our expected production in 1909 would be 328. Is that about the same as what we're doing now? But that's going to get a lot higher as soon as we push the technology a little bit more. And we're looking at a total construction cost of about $4 million and a finish date of 1910. Which all seems reasonable, 2 years, 2 months, and doesn't eat away our total cash. Of course, that's hopefully we can manage to make money in the meantime, despite the additional construction costs of our factory. Now, of course, this is going to mean like the monthly idle cost is going up significantly the more we increase this. So we're gonna have to be making money in order for this to work out. In fact, I feel like if you're going from 7 to 8, you aren't really doing your job. You probably got to go from 7 to 9 and increase this even more. 17,000. Okay, so full production cost is going to be 100,000. We are going to have to sell vehicles for this. But I looked at the transportation cost, which is another thing. I'm clicking this. We're going. Did it. It's very painful, but that's fine. Here we go. So we did both the things I wanted to do on this side, except for maybe Philadelphia is actually very lucrative as well. I wanted to take a look at this branch. Yeah, they have 39 employees. I mean, going back to that office report and the individual city sales, Philadelphia right now is just killing it. Where is it? Yeah, 151 sales. It has the most in the country. And I feel like that's partly because the branch is operating so well. I mean, I would expect, I mean, there's probably more competition in New York, but besides that, there's still like a lot of, I feel like there should be a lot of sales potential in New York, more so than Philadelphia, considering it's 3 times the population and basically has all the city stats the same or better. Well, I mean, it is more, yeah, I mean, there's more vultures feasting on the corpse, so to speak. There's definitely a lot more people there, which we can see when we go here. So if we go to New York and Philadelphia, perfect. Okay, so we see 143 of some other car being sold. We're looking at the easy, and probably should, okay, the sedan, this is fine. We'll look at the sedans. We're only selling 36 in New York. And we're selling 35 in Philadelphia. Which, by the way, has to mean that we're selling like a lot of these at the TT. So there's 208 Phaetons being sold by the best company. I'm just probably a lot more. I could count these all up, but basically there's somebody selling 208 of what they got in New York, and way lower sales than Philadelphia, 35 versus 36. So yeah, man, I feel like we need to get a bigger piece of this pie. Last thing, we're gonna retrim the TT into the TT again. Modify vehicle. No, but I probably should do it. I just don't want to do it right now. So we're going to go to the new and improved TT with the lower material cost, but all the better ratings. And I should view this first so that you can at least understand where I'm making my mistake. I can explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, and you'll see why why it seems to make sense for me to do, even if it potentially is wrong. And please correct me if it is wrong. So we see the EZ, which is our first design, higher material cost, and basically in every way is worse. Now, I think that this is the age impact. No, sorry, this is the target audience, but where's our, well, I mean, it just says here 1901, so this thing is 7 years out. It's a bit older, and I think that's having a big impact on the overall and the specific here. Because if we do the evaluation of these, we're going to see that they shouldn't have changed that much, right? So safety is down to 24, dependability is 48 versus 56. So the TT is just much, much, much better, even though it has actually slightly less cargo space, the TT. Well, 2 liters, it's hardly noticeable. We dented the wheel well in a little bit more in the trunk. Who knows? Anyways, the TT is just much, much better. But these are also not the stats I designed it at, so I think just doing a new design on this is going to be better. So that's the motivation here, is that I think that this is also being affected by age. We just do a new trim, and what I was told by Mr. Mangini is that when you modify the vehicle and you do a new trim, which is what we'll do, and you don't modify anything, I think I'm just going to do the quick trim here. System bypasses by designer slides, this tool making trims multiple combinations of. So this will cost us 15% to do. It should refresh. We'll get to keep, I didn't show the all-important, good, I'll just bring this up again. Image 12 out of 10, so the Easy has an image 8 out of 10. I don't know if this is because I was cranking that slider on quantity so much, but the TT has has an image of 12 out of 10. So I'm trying to lean on that. Keep that image going for the next one. So if I do new trim here, can I just quick trim it? Will it allow me to have the same name? Let's just try it. I'm hoping that when I click this, it'll be a TT trim, but the year will be 1908. Sorry to interrupt you, but there is a already vehicle with the exact name. You need to change the name so we don't get confused. Perhaps you can add a number at the end. Okay, that's fine. Actually, I'm very happy that the game reported that to me, because I'm obviously not sure what I'm doing here. We already have an EZ. So I'll just make this the... Okay, so this trim is just a rehash. We don't really have a motivation for this new trim other than the fact that I suppose what it would be is the fast one should be our, like, the latest, the best model, in which case I should design it, but I could probably just quick trim it. Let's design it. Okay, so let's do the FF, design it. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong here. I'm not touching any of this stuff, just gonna design it. And if I bring up these, I probably don't want to change anything, because I basically want to keep this model cost, estimated material cost is down to 600. That's amazing. In fact, I even think we could probably afford to bump it up a little bit more. But we know we don't need to. We want to keep it nice and cheap, and I've been told now that putting all these sliders as far to the left as possible is not good, but I don't think it's punishing us too much, just because the Phaeton is supposed to be kind of a bare bones vehicle anyway, right? So I say let's just design it. Let's build as is. This is going to be, well, it's only going to take 4 months at 55,000. I think we got to change that. Where is the slider for speed of, well, one of these has got to be the slider for how fast I'm building this. I am blind, because this can't be 15% of the cost. Okay, manufacturing techniques is low. I need something which affects my completion date. Are these all the sliders? That's weird. Sort of randomly repositioning them. What's going on here? Utility, comfortability, fuel economy, performance. Okay, this is not, it's not here. Style, luxury, safety, cargo, dependability, not here. Style, innovation, luxury, comfort, safety, technology. It's not here. And not here. I'm looking for one which is like slower or faster, but yet such a thing does not exist. Is it? Maybe one of these is just not coming up. Oh my gosh, oh no, oh gosh, no, cancel, undo. Return, no, get me out of here. Modify vehicle, let's go back and do this again, sorry. I hate that. So let's do the new trim for this, let's try this again, FF, design it. Cancel. Okay, cancel. I don't know how to get out of this. Let's go back to the office. Just get me out of here. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, obviously I clearly need to do that tutorial, but here we go, let's try this. Take 2. Okay, good. It looks like all of it is back. It all looks good. Okay, so we don't want to do design body. Materials is there. Interior is there. Design focus is, I assume, this one. And it is there. Testing is here. And summary. Huh. But yet none of these allow me to change the time it's going to take. So I guess we have to accept that this is going to be 55,000 and 4 months. Okay, we'll just accept that. I guess maybe it's fixed for trims. Would really like to have a chance to fix this, but basically this is good. So it is what I want it to be. It's the 3rd trim. This is, and then after 3 trims, because after about 10 years, if I was doing a trim every 3 years at least, we would want to switch over to a new build, a new main build. So we'll go ahead and do this. That'll take a little bit of time. So now we have our factory going. We did the New York branch, and we got a new Phaeton. We can also probably take a look at marketing, but let's not do all this. Let's actually end at least 1 turn before the first 30-minute mark. And that means that we want to correct for what we saw, which is that we weren't selling enough of these. So I want to go to the branches and actually decrease the cost of this one a little bit more, which I'll apply to all. And we'll see how that works by just ending the turn, because I need to end the turn. It's been too long. We did try to do a lot, but anyway. Still did not sell as many as we're producing. Cash flow is negative, but that's because of the 320,000. And now I think storage, you can make the argument that storage cost is eating away at our minor profit. I mean, I guess without the taxes, it would have been something like 30,000. So yeah, we can increase our profit by 50% by eliminating our storage cost. Still have an OEM parts revenue, which I'm not sure. Did I do something wrong? Did I forget to switch back my lines? They appear to all be used. Okay, this one's under construction, that's fine. This one has no lines available. So apparently I did switch them back. Not sure at all. Okay, fair enough. Well, then we have to lower the cost even more on this sedan, unfortunately. She's just not selling for what we want her to sell for. And note that we're still making money, even like when you include the entire cost of running our company, every expense that we have out there. We're still selling this thing for more than the total unit cost. And in a lot of cases, that won't necessarily be the case. We're definitely doing well when it comes to the TT. So the TT is making up for it. First of all, we sell this one in higher volume, and you can notice that if we slap on that like per vehicle, I mean, it's just every expense divided by the number of vehicles. So the sedans bear the same 600 increase in cost brunt as the TT, even if the TT is more responsible for the underlying expenses that the company has, like maybe more marketing, or marketing maybe not, but more design cost went into the TT. Anyways, we'll have the FF soon, and we really got to get rid of these EZs, which I guess they are slowly selling. Yeah, we only have 55. This is going to be perfect. This is going to be gone, erased from everyone's memory 1 month even before we bring out our new FF, which everyone is just going to love. They're just going to love it. I really hope. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so yeah, with revenues way down, let's take a look at the contracts as well, because one of the things I wanted to do was, we're not going to do it this time, but this is already what we can do next time. Ooh, something in blue, you say. This is looking like 2150. This is 12908. Okay, so we have a little bit of time left on this. And this is probably for next year. Yeah, 1909. Hopefully we win that. That was very lucrative to win the first time. Although paying the taxes on it is, well, certainly a lot. Okay, so we decreased the sedan a little bit more. I probably, if I knew what I was doing, could go through and make all the right decisions. Cutting that, I mean, if I go through every location, every branch, I could get what's the expected number of cars that we are going to sell here, like 9. I could add those all up and find out exactly what the best price to sell it for would be. But I'm actually just going to make the determination that we're just going to sell this thing for 2150, which is barely going to be over the unit cost. But again, our main money is going to come from the TT, and it's just not. I think it's not quite a fair distribution to assign all the 600. I mean, the per vehicle is not weighted at all differently for the TT versus the sedan. Okay, now we're back positive. Storage costs are going down good. We are now still selling less than we're producing. Why is this sedan being so difficult? Well, there's only one way I can think about doing this, is we need to open up new branches. Because I also, gosh, let's go back to reports. I looked at the distribution, the transport costs, and it was not that much. So let's see, distribution, labor, distribution, total transportation. Total transportation is only 21,000, or let's say 22,000. So 22,000 out of my total expenditures of, what is it, total monthly revenue, total amount. So we're at like 1.2 million. Let's even say, well, actually let's under it a little bit, because it'll make this number bigger relatively. So we're at 22,000 out of 1.2 million. It just seems like it's a very small amount. I mean, it's the same as our marketing costs. So transportation is supposed to be very prohibitively even expensive in the early part of the game, and gets a lot cheaper as, well, I mean, even as the transportation network in the countries develops. So we're expecting, and I guess you can see the price. Is it in the factories or is it in the branches? I was able to see min-max transport cost per unit. I think this is the min and max. Yeah, we can see that different places are costing, it's less than 100 per vehicle. And yeah, that does eat into our cost, but I don't think it's enough. Apparently my big branch opening in New York, by the way, did not help us too much. So I want to go over and do some more marketing there. And we already are marketing a lot. And this is where most of our marketing money is going. Speaking of music, is that okay? No, it looks like the volume is just low enough not to be, well, just high enough, I think, maybe to potentially be aggravating. Wish there was a next button. Skip. Oh, first of all, let's do random. Ah, Vivaldi. Play Vivaldi. Can't be that bad. Oh, wonderful. I like it. Okay, this is much better. Alright, so what are we doing? We just ended the turn, and the monthly report told us what we didn't want to see. That the sedan has to be lowered in cost even more. Probably, what we could do is just lower their production a little bit. New York could probably... Okay, it's got to be Chicago, which is the factory, needs to decrease this a little bit. Let's go over here. Okay, sign this. This will give us... So we're going to sell a few less. And I don't know if that's... we're probably not doing the right thing. I just don't know how to keep dropping the cost. What I've noticed, and let's just verify this. We sold 159. We sold 154. We sold 152. We dropped the price from 2,300 to 2,100. So this is funny because BLX had this comment and I actually agreed with it, but I think it's actually wrong in this case. We dropped the price by 200 or so, right? 2,300 down to 2,100, with the net effect being that we sold 7 more cars. Is that better or worse to sell 7 more cars, but for every car, 159 of them, we sell them for $200 less? I'm pretty sure that the $200 extra on 152 cars is better than the the 2,200 times 7. We can do the math real fast. Can we though? Can we, Tortuga? So 7 times 2,100 is 14,700. Let's do 159. So sorry, it'd be 152 times 200 is 30,000. So yeah, we actually lost 15,000 in money in this case doing the math. It actually is better for us to increase the price and have 7 less sales because we make more net money that way. I don't know what... that's if there's no other factors being involved here. One of the factors could be that by producing more vehicles, because you're able to produce more vehicles, you're actually more efficient at producing vehicles. I don't know if that's modeled into the game or not, but I don't know if it would have a big impact if it is. Oh, and I did make a mistake. It should have been only 150, not 200. But you take that 30,000 and multiply it by 0.75, you'll get something like 22,000 or something. So it's still higher than 15,000. Okay, fair enough. We expect though that we'll be able to sell all of these at 2,150 now that I just decreased the number of cars. So we'll leave it there. And end the turn again? Question mark. Okay, so now we sold more than we produced. This might be that the slump is finally over. We actually missed 42 sales for our EZ, which is funny, which means that this thing should be, yeah, reserves are coming down there. And it is 1 month before perfect. The FF is coming out. I didn't plan it, actually, but it's actually working out nicely. And, oh, of course, another thing which I didn't take into account is our construction costs right now should just be through the roof. We're producing 2 factories. Construction 300,000, yeah, because I mean we have that factory coming in New York now. So we have 2 factories under construction, and although, you know, if you just deleted the 4 million or whatever it was, you can think of that as a 1 month negative of 4 million, or you can, you know, you divide it out, like, and the construction costs are something, a continual payment month by month. If we're able to keep our head above water, positive on cash flow with that construction, that makes me very optimistic for how things are going to be. Okay, that means that maybe we have enough time to do the... Well, let's actually just... Let me look at this report one more time, see if there's anything else I want to adjust. The EZ can be taken off the market, by the way, so that's what I want to do. The EZ has no lines. Good. Branches. Don't need branches in France yet. Transportation costs will be prohibitive, I'm sure. Easy, which has been selling nicely at 2,900 too. So let's remove this. And they say in the tutorial, I know they say you can remove and then apply to all, but you can't. So 0 apply to all. That should mean that this thing is now defunct. So we'll remove it, and I'll see if it even exists in the system in the next month, but I hope it doesn't. Anything else we want to do? Well, we can evaluate whether or not we want to... Yeah, I mean, maybe the lack of... I mean, the missed sales, so to speak, on the EZ might have translated... By the way, for the last 9, I could have sold them for a fortune. But anyway, that might have translated to more sales for my... Oh, yeah, sorry, for my TT, which is going to knock storage costs down just by selling more, and it's also just going to increase revenue by selling more. So this might be slightly inflated from what we expect it to be as an average monthly whatever. Okay, so remove vehicle from branch. No, that's fine. I just did that. We're redesigning the branch. Yeah, all that looks fine. I hope I don't have any other branches or anything which are... Does it say they're like redesign %? I mean, there's a way to just do all of them at the same time. I just look at branches. What's there? Recondition. So, is there a way to recondition all? Yeah, I think it'll let me know, but I'm not... Okay, I'm actually not 100% sure. 7% wear is not enough. That's not a big deal. Do we have branches that are worse than that, though? Are they all... Did I do this already then? Okay, it looks like they're all at 7%, so let's ignore that for now. The Chicago factory is relatively new, so I'm going to assume that it doesn't need a recondition yet. I guess steady as she goes for 1 more month. Let's pop this new Phaeton into play. Which means that this is good. I can actually do the... Oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh, this is good. So with the old Phaeton off the market, the new Phaeton is starting to sell like hotcakes. Despite the fact that with taxes and the additional construction now of 2 factories, we actually made a profit. I'm actually ecstatic about that. I mean, the fact that we still have this 6.5 million. My attempt at building the second factory was basically to remove this additional cash. But then I'm stubborn. I'm like, no, we got to keep cash flow positive. If you were just to take the money, 4 million, out of my hands for the factory, I would oblige you that. But when I see it leaving month by month, I'm always like, no, we gotta do better than that. We gotta do better. Always gotta have money. Always gotta be positive. So I probably really should be investing in stocks here. No, not gonna do that. But I think banking, no. I mean, I'm not gonna do the tutorial right now, at least. I don't know how to get out of there without doing this. is that it? That is the stocks area, right? Public companies, yeah. I don't want, no, don't do that. I don't want an IPO. Mark, no, should do probably a mark, but I'm not. Restructure, no, none of these. I want to do stocks. I don't want banking. I want stocks. I need to go find the stocks. I apologize. I have looked at the stocks before, but now I don't know where they are. Which is embarrassing. But okay, that's fine. We have our new things. Let's bring her in. Which means we're going to be doing the same darn thing. Yeah, we need to remove the easy. I thought it would actually just be gone. R&D. See if we can remove the vehicle this way. So this one, yeah, it should not be active. If I'm not mistaken, we have 0 holdings of it. Well, what am I missing? So easy is not part of anything. We're now going to have to start producing these FF. And I would really like to see the... Okay, this market model quality is 31 versus 34. Wow. Why is the quality so low? I guess the expectations have gone up. But the material cost is so cheap. We got to produce it. Which is great. It's a very good time for us to produce more of it because we're... I was starting to crank down on the quantity, whatever, so we can manipulate all those things. I think that's... It's a good time. We can maybe cut another line off of the sedan if we're still producing too many of them, but then up the quantity of the, well, be cutting it in half. That's not quite good because we have, yeah, we finally reached, well, we have 414. I guess we can dip into it. Yeah, okay. So let's do this. First of all, let's increase the sedan. When did she come around? 1906? Probably, oh no, another year before we retrim it. But let's increase the price. We don't have any reason. So why is this not removed? That easy is at 0. And we have... It's not even showing up here, which is... How the heck do you remove it? Bothering me now. Sorry, I shouldn't let it get to me. I'm sure I should find this off camera, but no, here we are. Huh. Maybe it just needs to not be used for an entire month. Okay, let's just let it not be used for an entire month and then see if it goes away on its own. Or the video is about to end anyway, and then people will be shouting in the comments, you big dumb Tortuga. It was right there, right before your eyes the whole time. Probably the case. All right, so let's maybe cut this down to 1, 2, sign, and let's get some FFs pouring out. We'll want this at pretty high. Yeah, let's do it here. So drop it a little bit, but basically it's almost time for this thing to see its way out the door. And drop it down one more. Okay, let's do 136. Which means at least it's -0. It's better. Okay, so two of those. No. We probably want to do even just one of these and then crank the quality up. Good. Sorry, crank the quantity up. I might even want to do more. I don't want it to affect the image though. I don't know how image is affected. How is image affected of the, if you do the previous trim, does it still have a general effect on the Fa Eternity? Because it is the Fa Eternity line. Does the lower quality on this one affect the image, even though I have another one which also will be dropping, but I don't know. I don't know how the image works. That's one thing I didn't show you, which was pretty cool, is in the reports that we're actually doing okay. Like in labor skills, we're just garbage. 20. I don't know. This is obviously out of something more than 40. Or maybe it's out of 40, but we're horrible and abysmal in all these. Maybe it's out of 100. But if we go over to, if we go over to prestige and image, This is one where I was joking that everybody's doing so darn good. How the heck are we going to survive? Well, we're actually not doing so bad, turns out. Good, average, good, good. So we're actually building a fairly good prestige and image reputation for ourselves. Fantastic. Okay, back to all this. That's Chicago. Let's also do New York the same way. Maybe a split? No, let's go down to 1 and then... maybe down to 18. Put the FF, new FF. I mean, yeah, so I think that we'll go up to 19. Why do I care about 1? Okay, let's assign many new lines to it. And we'll do 53. Okay, that's good. So we'll get 53 here. We'll be selling those soon. Let's also go to the branches. We're going to sell this new one for... I mean, if we can sell it for 2,200. So I guess the TT should be, getting its price jacked up quite a bit. Yeah, we have 414 in reserve, so... and we're producing 1. Do we want to produce any? Well, I think that we can safely sabotage its quality rating because it doesn't have really doesn't have that many months of production left. So let's go ahead and do it this way. 1 line, and then give everything else to the FF. Okay, I like this. Okay, so that's going to produce a lot of cars to the FF. The FF should take over the price of the current one, which we overdid, so let's drop this down. I guess let's see what the demand for this thing is. Are we going crazy here? 92 of them in wherever we are. 92 of them, and we sold 96 of the TT. Well, that's not a good sign that we're going to expect to sell less of the FF than the TT. Although the material cost is cheaper, so it's over 100 cheaper, which means I could just lower the FF even down to 2050. Does that make a difference? Let it finish calculating. There it goes. 102. Okay, good. So we do expect the FF is apparently worth its money. So we can sell it for the same profit. I mean, if we just think about it that way, the same, a little bit more from a material cost standpoint. We can sell it for a little bit more than its material costs. I mean, relative to its material cost. More of them for more over its material cost. And that, I mean, that's a good thing, right? So it looks like it's a winner, but I'm not sure about that yet. This, however, can go up quite a bit since we kind of want them to be in a different category anyway. I think I can just cut the production of this altogether, right? If this new FF is supposed to be what we want it to be, which is the new line, let's not mix and match. I did that last time and it was kind of a pain. So let's just drop this altogether. Or should we do it slowly? Should we do it over the course of like, okay, let's ramp down slowly. Let's give it like 2 months of production, fill up our reserves, and then we'll sell it for a ton for a little while. 2,500 might be a little too much though. No, they're gonna attack each other. No, we gotta go all in on one. Good old Tortuga battle. The heated discussions in the boardroom. Yeah, I'm gonna make this final call though. Let's go pure FF. Which means we're probably gonna have to lower the price a little bit more. But at least I'll only have one I'll need to deal with. You do the same thing over here. Down with GT, up with FF. Gotta squeeze out a few extra in New York. Alright, now we're going to go to branches. So FF 2050. I'm not sure we're going to sell enough of these. Let's just introduce them at quite a low cost. Just 2030. I don't know why that number just feels right to me. These can be at 2,400. I think that it's going to be okay. Okay. We'll try 1 month of this, and then I'm going to spend next episode correcting all my mistakes. All my many mistakes. Okay, the TT sold out. This one sold out, and this one has too many. Okay, then we're going to have to adjust production lines, raise prices. This is very promising. But we are over the 50-minute mark, a little bit beyond where I wanted to go, so I'll drop the video here. I don't know where we're going from here. I think next episode I want to work on a truck. Still wanting to get that truck, so maybe we qualify for some of the military contracts, which I didn't even look at, so we'll just look at that next time. Yeah, and then, I mean, I think a new design will start eking our way. I mean, we're already committed. We're already over the 50-minute mark, so I can't undo that. Recent world market share, believe it or not, Shell Corporation, there we are, 1.4%. So not bad. I mean, we're there. We're, visible compared to the big boys. And that's what I like to see. Anyway, until the next one, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the comments. Stay safe and take care.